Hey, this is Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder here, and you're listening to the EVERBLACK Podcast.
Hey, human skull, this is odorous from Guam.
I'm going to the Fear Factory.
This is George Corshunter Fisher.
This is Gas from Devil Drop.
This is Wade from Our Last Enemy.
This is Mike Nick from Suicidal Tendencies.
Hey, this is Wednesday 13.
This is Bruce Evans.
This is Rex from Kill Devil Hill.
This is Gary Lee from Sepultura. You're listening to EVERBLACK Podcast.
All right, before we go into this episode, we just need to give a shout out to our show supporters, the brutal occult clothing brand Electric Witch, who have amazing apparel from shirts to hoodies to hats to beanies and more. Check out their full range at electricwitch.com.au and put in the code EVERBLACK for 20% off your order. Don't forget to subscribe, rate and review the EVERBLACK podcast through Spotify, iTunes, YouTube and Facebook, and check out all our articles at everblackmedia.com. All right, on with the show. Andy, thanks for joining us on the show, man. How's everything going?
Going very well, thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for you can join us for, I'm having a beer. What are you having?
Yep. A glass of McLaren Vale Grenache. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, good shit. Good shit.
Yeah, man, that's the stuff. All right, man. Well, your band Descend to Acheron have just released your new EP, The Transience of Flesh, and it's brutal, man. I've been spinning it a lot, actually. It's really good.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks. Yeah, we definitely going for that death metal kind of vibe, but yeah, nothing too modern, nothing too old school, just somewhere in between, bit of both.
You know what, man? It's more than that, I think. There's a lot more going on than just your straight up death metal or your modern, your classic. It's got a lot of elements in there, man. It sounds really, really good. And what's the concept of the EP altogether?
It doesn't have a concept as a whole as such, but the concept that I'm sort of trying to go for is more based on reason and science, and less on violence and killing and all that sort of and anti-religion stuff. That's just broad anti-religion stuff that's been done a million times. So trying to be a little bit more, I don't want to say intelligent about it, but I don't want to do the usual killing stuff.
That's it. Well, it also runs for 21 minutes, but it feels like it's a much more epic journey. How was it writing it, man? Did you go into it to sort of plan to make it sort of bigger than the runtime, and make it cram everything in and make it...
Yeah. Well, we definitely, a bunch of the stuff, the songs were originally longer, and when it got to sort of, everything was recorded from, we were just like, some parts were just too long or whatever. So we did trim it down a bit, just sort of the essence of what was really needed for the songs. So yeah, we did that a bunch. The songs were changing a lot right up until the release. So like the female vocals in Your Suffering Is a Gift weren't even recorded until like a few days before the lyric video came out and stuff. So yeah, everything was changing the whole time. We're just trimming out what didn't need to be in there. So yeah.
You said you trimmed down the songs. But one song was it the Godless? That's split into two parts.
Yeah, that was kind of almost an accident when we were writing the songs, because they're fairly different songs. We just noticed that one kind of ends on the same chord the other one starts on, and so from there, we just kind of developed that more. So it was a 2-part thing, and that song is actually a 2-part song about Charles Darwin. So the first part is him on his journey around the world, go to Godless Islands and that stuff. And then the second part is him getting back to England and sort of trying to develop his theory of evolution. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Seems cool.
Yeah, it's not your normal metal stuff, but I just, like I said, I wanted to do something a little bit different with this one. So
yeah, man. How does the artwork play into it?
Well, we actually had different artwork originally. We got Paolo Girardi from Italy to do a piece. In the end, we kind of felt it didn't really suit the EP. We still love the artwork. We just happened across that artwork. It didn't look exactly like that. My missus runs the visual side of the Instagram studio. She tweaked it up a bit and sort of really brought it to life. That was just a cool picture. It just sort of doesn't really signify anything specific. Just looks cool.
Looks cool on merch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got to get one of those shirts.
Yeah. They've been doing really well. The pre-sales have been going great, which is awesome. So it's our first bit of merch. So
that's awesome, man. Are you going to have patches and stuff too?
Yeah, I reckon we are. Chris from Hidden Intent was telling me the other week about the guy he uses and the little metal pins and stuff as well. So I want to get some of those made up eventually.
Put me down.
Yeah. And physical copies of the EP would be great too.
Yeah, man.
That should be happening pretty soon, hopefully. So.
Vinyl? Is vinyl on the cards too?
Not at this point, but that would be amazing.
Yeah,
it would be.
Because it sounds awesome. Of course, you took care of production at your studio Against the Grain. How was it not only taking care of vocal duties, but also, the production as well? That's a lot to take on board.
Yeah, it's not ideal. Like, if I had the money and stuff, I would probably outsource some of that stuff. Like, just because it is hard to get that objectivity. And that's when it came to actually mixing it. I really struggle mixing my own voice because I hear me in my voice and I hate that. So I always try to get it to sound the least like me as possible. And so, getting it to a mix stage was a bit of an uphill battle for sure.
But you got there?
Eventually. It took a long time. Yeah, we recorded it in 2014.
Oh, wow. Is it that long ago?
Yeah. Basically, when Pete and I left In the Barrel, we started recording pretty much almost straight away.
Yeah.
So within 6 months of us leaving the band, we already had most of the EP kind of together, and then Dave came over and we played drums on it, and so it all happened pretty quick. And then we just couldn't find members. Got to get a drummer who can play that in Adelaide. That isn't in 100 bands.
so that's of course Dave Haley. The legendary Dave Haley. How was it? How was it working with him? Did you send him all the tracks, or did you jam with him first?
Yeah, we sent him the tracks, but he's obviously super busy, so I don't think he really had a chance to do a lot, listen to him much. Basically, we just went, okay, this is the song, and we just played the first riff, and then he'd just jam on it for a few minutes and go, we like that, that's awesome. And so he'd do that. Then we get to the verse, and we jam that, and then he'd record all the verses in a row, and then he'd record, whatever else. So, but he was super efficient. Obviously, he's the man, he was amazing. So,
I don't think he ever sleeps. I think pound that behind the kid a few times. That he just keeps recording.
Just keep him with plenty of sugar in him, and he'll keep going. Plenty of chocolate and Krispy Kremes, and he's good to go.
That's his secret. There you go, guys. Yeah. That's the Dave Haley formula. Yeah.
It's a winning combo.
And you mentioned before female vocals on it as well. What other guests have you got on this album?
Yeah, there's not heaps. There's a few though. In that same song, You're Suffering Is a Gift, we've got Paul Hodgson, or Doomsayer. He's called in some of his bands. He's from some of my absolute favourite bands of all time, Beyond Mortal Dreams, Open Damnation. Just two amazing bands that I've been super fortunate to work with on a number of occasions. So he did some vocals on that one. And Corey Davis from Decidia did a solo on Godless Part 1. And he's just phenomenal. Like, the dude he's just a virtuoso muso. And I've worked with those guys a bunch of times as well. And it's just like, dude, you have to put a solo down on this album, So, I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Of course, your vocals, we were talking about that before, and it sounds amazing with all the layers and all the time that you've put into it. You can definitely hear it. And I definitely know what it's like. You hear your own voice, you pick everything apart. I'm kind of going through that right now. But where did you start to sort of map all that out, and sort of did you come up with sort of a plan for yourself? And I know what it's like. You got to say that'll do. That's it. Yeah. You got to put your foot down with yourself.
I basically I usually have an idea for a song that I know what I want the song to be about, and I generally write the song, but the lyrics as I'm recording them. So because luckily I've got a recording studio, so if it takes me all day to record a song with vocals, then it doesn't matter, I just sort of have a basic idea what the song to be, and then I just kind of plug away in it and get all the phrasing and stuff to fit it. So usually after I've recorded, I've got the big job of learning how to do it all, which learning how to actually sing the parts, because and sometimes there's actually some parts on there where I didn't write the lyrics down properly, and I don't even know what the lyrics are, so that I recorded. So there's a couple of parts where it's just like, don't actually know what that is. But yeah, I'm super picky about it, and it is pretty layered up, mainly because I very rarely have time to practice. We're not a jamming, gigging band that, we don't jam every week or anything like that. So I might go years without doing any vocals. So I have to layer it up so it sounds pretty meaty.
Oh man, it sounds incredible. Like it's
Cheers, thanks.
Yeah, dude. It's kind of like I would say it's kind of like the vocal sound that I'd dream to have. There you go.
Oh, cool. Cheers.
Yeah, I love
dude,
it.
Yeah, I was almost going to. I don't know if you've heard of this band. They're a local band, Adelaide band called Dead Sun. They just released their first EP, and there's a guy, their singer Pat, has an amazing death metal voice, just like Michael Apathy Bloodbath kind of vibe, just like real awesome voice. I was like, dude, I would love to get you to do a guestie on our CD, but your voice is so much better than mine. You'd make me look pathetic. It was like, he was a bit disappointed, but it's just like, I can't be A-B to that guy. I would come off second best.
Man, give yourself more credit because you sound amazing, dude. You really do.
Thanks.
Yeah, man.
Pro Tools wizardry. That's what it is.
Well, I mean, how did you guys come about anyway? Like, you said 2014. It's a bit of a lame question, but I mean, you said 2014, so it's been cooking for a little while. Is this?
Yeah.
So how did it come about, dude?
Well, yeah, like I was saying before, Pete and I were in the Barrel together.
Yes.
And I don't know if you know the Adelaide band In the Barrel.
Oh, I do. Yes.
Yeah. They were kind of heading more black metal. We wanted more death metal. I think at the end of the day, personalities weren't 100% there. So we left. We were already kind of working on new material at that point. So we just continued writing new material. And then it was just like, man, who the hell, we want to do this for fun. Who would we really love to have on this recording with us? And so, if you could have any drummer in Australia, Dave Bailey, why not, So that's how Dave came about. And then it was like, if we could have any bass player, who could we have? And Matty P, the guy that did that's in the band, he's like an awesome guy, and he's like our favorite bass player locally. And we're like, would you be on our album as well? So yeah, it just kind of came about from us just wanting to work with people that we admired and we wanted to work with. So that's how it sort of came about.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you guys been jamming live at all?
We've only had one show so far, Heavy SA last year. We had a bunch of gigs planned, and then Pete had to have an operation on his wrist, which kind of took him out. He couldn't play guitar for a while.
Yeah.
So that kind of, we had to cancel a lot of shows last year because of that, unfortunately, but it needed to happen. And yeah, we had a bunch of shows booked this year, of course, to launch the CD. And we were supposed to be playing Blacken up in Alice Springs this weekend. Yeah, all of that got cancelled as well. So yeah, every show that we've booked pretty much has been cancelled.
That sucks, dude.
yeah, it's pretty annoying because we had the CD coming for so long, and when we finally released it, we couldn't play to launch it because the launch show got cancelled. And
yeah, man. Well, hopefully 2021 for a lot of bands,
Yeah. I was talking to Pete today actually, and we're pretty fired up about getting an album going as soon as possible. So hopefully we'll have new material to be playing when we do play live.
So have you been writing?
Pete is a riff machine. So a little while ago, he was sending riffs back and forwards, and there's some killer ideas there. And he's got a bunch of ideas, and so we'll sit down and we'll nut through them all and get them all going. Yeah, there's no songs yet, but there's lots of ideas. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, I mean, in regards to playing live and the scene in Adelaide, man, something in the water down there, eh?
Yeah, there's amazingly talented people here. Yeah, it's a shame that they don't get out of Adelaide more often. We have a very varied scene as well. We don't have like just one style of band. There's every band has a different style here. So it's pretty cool.
It seems to be building though. There's something from an outsider's. From what I'm seeing, there's a lot of good stuff that's coming out of there at the moment, and it seems to be
cool.
The base.
Yeah, it's hard to know because I've always, that's where I am. That's what I see every day. So I've always known there's amazing bands here, but I think they are starting to get some reach outside of Adelaide, which is good. I think traditionally people haven't taken Adelaide bands as serious as, if you're from Melbourne and the same caliber, you probably get a lot more exposure, a lot easier. So you have to work a lot harder to get the same sort of exposure, I think.
In regards to that, I mean, the quality of the bands and things, and you've recorded a ton, you know, and the quality that's come through your studio. I mean, I love your idea how you've got the samplers on your site.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Which is obviously a bit of a show reel for you, but it also, you know, shows all the bands and what they're like and, you know, their sound. Do you feel that you're sort of part of the movement that's happening out of there at the moment?
I'd like to hope so. Sorry, my earpiece fell. I'd like to hope so. I work my ass off for the local bands, man. Like, you know, I work hard, you know,
Absolutely.
and I think so. But obviously it's much bigger than me. You know, there's a lot of other studios that are doing stuff down here now. You know, when I first started, there wasn't really a metal studio in Adelaide. And now there's a few options, which is, you know, it's good because obviously I can't record every band. It's just physically impossible because we have so many of them in Adelaide. But
yeah, man. How long you been doing it for? How long you been in recording bands?
Over 15 years.
It's a long time, dude.
Yeah. It's the only thing I've done as a job for a long time. Yeah, since early 2000s. Yeah, I think I've been operating as Against the Grain Studio since 2006. I think. But I was doing it a little bit before that. So.
That's awesome, man. That's all. And of course, I mean, you've recorded some amazing bands like, you know, Freedom of Fear, as I described.
Yeah.
I can't even say, I've had a long day too. Let me rewind. As I described.
Yeah.
You know, what are your requirements with working with these bands? Like, what do you set up for them? How do you push them to get the best out of them and, you know, make your job easier, but also get those creative juices out of them?
I don't have a set way of working. I think that's probably how I've managed to maintain a studio for so long. I work very much to how the band works. So some people, I know I've heard horror stories of different producers wanting a certain way, thing done a certain way, and there's no negotiation and stuff like that. And I don't see the point in that. Like, so, you know, if a band wants to record all live with no click tracks, I tell them this is what you're going to get. You know, these are the pros and cons of doing it this way. And, you know, and other bands, we break stuff up into tiny little bits, you know, a couple of notes at a time. And it's just, you know, what end product are they going for? And are they, you know, and how much time do they have to get it there? You know, like, you got to be realistic at the end of the day as well. So, yeah, I just try to interpret what the band's going for, I suppose, and try to help them get there. But I don't try and push my own agendas because it's not my music. You know, if someone tried to do that to my music, I'd tell them to fuck off. So, you know, so I understand what it's like being on the other side of it. So, yeah.
Oh man, I know there's a lot of dudes out there. Like, I mean, throughout the year, I've been lucky. I've recorded with some good cats up here, but I've had the odd one where it's like, no, you're only using this mic, and you're like, but that doesn't sound right with me. And they're like, no, that's what I do. Yeah,
no, to me, the best way to record something is the way that's going to get the best performance out of the person who's doing it. And if, you know, whatever that takes, you know, literally whatever that takes. And I don't have any rules about anything like that because it's just not practical. Everyone's individual. Every person has things that they like to do or don't like to do. And some people are blind drunk when they record. Other people won't drink at all. And it's like, you know, I can't say no drinking in my studio because then I lose out on all these people that won't record. No, but I've got a visitor. Sorry.
Hey, man. Hey, that's all right. That's all right. I usually get a guest. Hey, pal.
Yeah, she thinks she's a lapdog, but she's not.
That's all right.
Like, she hasn't seen me all day, so she's like, you just sit there.
Dad. See, I've got a Labradoodle in the background here somewhere who will pop her head up anytime now, and she loves it. But you know, you're talking about the recording. I mean, it is interesting. Daniel Winterbates of a band called Bury Tomorrow. Have you heard of those guys?
No.
Yeah, well, from the UK. He said he recorded his last album with just a 58.
Yep. Yeah, heaps of people do that.
Man.
Yep.
Yeah. Just you know, like,
I think Bono from U2 uses like a Beta 58 or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's got all the money in the world, you know, and he still uses the $200 mic. So
it's crazy, man.
Well, if you're going to go a dynamic, I'd definitely go an SM7B over a 58 just for the air, like the air that pushes onto it. But
I've got one.
You can definitely do it.
That's what I did.
Oh, she's gonna pull my headphones off.
That's all right. That's all right. We're having all the. This is one of the funniest ones I've had in a little while.
Yeah.
Technical issues, gremlins, dogs. It's good times.
Yeah.
Man. It's good radio.
Good events. Eventful. Yeah.
It definitely makes it a memorable one. That's for sure. You know, is there a band that you'd love to work with?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm always keen. You know, as long as it's a decent band. You know, I love all genres. Like I was saying earlier, I was recording acoustic piano today for an acoustic band.
Yeah.
You know, most of the metal people never know that I record. I was recording poetry the other day for someone, and you know, do all these sorts of things that metal guys never ever hear about. But yeah. As long as they've got good songs, man, I don't care. You know, I'll record anything.
That's awesome. Hey, man, you never know. You might have that one band will be over here from Europe, some legendary death metal band that'll be like, "Hey, man, you're the guy."
Yeah, because you'd come to Adelaide to record, definitely, if you're in Europe.
Well, I mean, hey, I'm trying to pay a compliment on your sound work here, buddy. Yeah, it's awesome. I really like it. Yeah. But so I mean, what's next for you guys?
Trying to get the album happening as soon as, man. Yeah. Like I was saying, we should have physical copies of the EP soon. Hopefully we'll be able to play some shows to support that. But yeah, just working on an album, get that happening ASAP. Yeah, because like I said, we've been sitting on these songs for a while. So yeah, definitely keen to keep things moving because we've got a little bit of momentum now. We've got a full lineup for the first time,
right? As
well, now that Kieran and Dave are in the band, so we've never had a full lineup before. So we can actually start, you know, doing things like a band would.
So, what about a trip up here to Queensland? Is that? I know it's a long way.
I would love to go. I would absolutely. Yeah, we were going to be in Alice Springs playing this weekend. So,
that's even further.
You know, yeah, and it's in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. I love Alice Springs, but it's literally in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, we'd be keen to go absolutely anywhere for sure.
Have you played that before?
Alice Springs, Blacken.
Yeah.
You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Maniacal, the other band that I'm in with Dave.
Okay.
Dave Hawkins. Yeah, so we played Blacken last year. A lot of fun. I do a lot of work with Pirate, who runs Blacken and the Black Wreath stuff up there. Yeah, and it was an amazing experience. It's out their new venue, out in the middle of nowhere, basically. It's like 80 k's outside of Alice Springs. It's the most amazing landscape to have a death metal show. It's amazing.
Oh, man, yeah. I'd love to do it. That'd be so sick.
Yeah, it's awesome. You should, if you can get there, I would absolutely recommend it. Yeah, it's a great show. And the vibe is just awesome because people just there to chill and watch bands. And it's this big campground and set amongst these big rocks and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Man, that's so
There's
sick.
Definitely no other show around like that.
Next year, I'll hopefully, fingers crossed, everything's open. Knock on whatever we can right now because we need to get those shows happening again. But of course, man, thanks for hanging on the show. The new Descend to Acheron EP is out now. That's called The Transience of Flesh. And all the links will be here, as I usually, just down here somewhere. Thank you so much, and stay safe and stay in touch, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope to see you at Blacken next year.